Primary sources, documents from the past, come in varied forms. This is helpful for researchers who want to gather diverse perspectives on the past. Newspapers published at the Cape in the 19th century provide a window into the government's priorities by publishing proclamations. They show information about the local economy through offers of goods for sale. We see the global economy through news about cargoes coming in and out of Cape Town's harbor. We see information about social life through news about marriages, deaths, and newly arrived residents, and also forms of popular entertainment. There's limited information about the Coabolcafelt Revolt in the Cape Town Gazette and African Advertiser, the only newspaper at the Cape in 1825. To look at this, we want to use the reading strategy of encouraging conversation among different sources. Let's start by looking at the first mention of the revolt, which was on the 12th of February. The fiscal, Dennis Denison, the government prosecutor, placed an advertisement for the two rebels who were still at large, Galant and Isaac Thijs. This advertisement for these runaway laborers was a lot less detailed than the advertisements for many other laborers, so we can see a little bit of a difference in the discussion of this particular event. 2 months later, after the trial took place, someone from the Van der Merwe family published the required announcement of an auction at Hodenbach Farm. This is an ordinary notice required for all auctions. It also is a reminder of a horrific event to everyone who knew what happened and was reminded by the fact that the Hodenbach Farm was now being broken up. And this is interesting to me as a historian in the third instance, because the publication of this auction announcement doesn't line up with the very detailed auction records I would expect to find a list of everyone who bought things from the Hodenbach Farm, and that doesn't exist. So we see a little bit of a disjuncture, suggesting that there's something a little out of the ordinary about this auction. The third mention of the Coabolcafelt Revolt that shows up in the Cape Town Gazette was on the 23rd of April, after the execution of the rebels. The report was submitted by the second undersheriff, a man named William Mills, who doesn't show up in any of the other written accounts. So I wonder if he wasn't trying to perhaps promote himself a little bit by writing to the newspaper with this account. I also put Mills' representation of Galant's words in conversation with Galant's words that we have from the criminal prosecution, and they don't add up. Mills reports the words of a deeply devout Christian convert, something that doesn't appear at all in Galant's representation during the criminal prosecution. According to Mills, Galant said before he died, "I am willing to die and I feel happy." That doesn't sound like the Galant who went on trial and really spoke in defense of his actions. The grisly report of this execution in the newspaper is followed by a report of horse racing. So we can see that in some ways, the discussion of the trial was a form of social entertainment for the non-criminal residents at the Cape of Good Hope.